it's Jen. Welcome back to Yarn Purpose. Today I've got a coffee catch-up for you. Hey everyone, it's Jen Lucas. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Yarn Purpose. I'm back today with my monthly coffee catch-up for you. I actually do have coffee this time, cold brew as always. And I have a ton of stuff to show you. I have in the last few weeks really caught the crafting bug again. I feel like I got my knitting and crochet mojo back. I talk about this all the time, but when you make your hobby your job, sometimes, you kind of fall out of love with your job sometimes. And so I go through spurts where I don't do a lot of knitting and crochet outside of my work obligations, and then sometimes I get real excited and remember why I love it so much. I mean, I do love it so much that I made it my job, right? And I just start working on all the things. So I'm definitely going through this period where I'm just completely in love with fiber arts right now and have really gotten back into a lot of different things. So this coffee catch-up is definitely going to be a little bit longer today, I think. So go ahead and grab your coffee or your favorite beverage and let's get started. I've decided I'm going to try to keep this in different segments since I do have a lot to share with you today. I have stuff spread all about around here, but I wanted to show you just everything that I've been working on. So I'm just gonna start with the whips or works in progress. So last week, I did a review of the Addi Flexi Flips needles, and I will leave a link to that for you if you haven't watched it yet. And in that video, I, of course, was showing my sock, which I've been working on now for some time. But when I finished that video, because I had the sock out to make the video, I kind of was like, oh yes, I love this sock again. I want to work on it. So after I finished the review, and I said in that video that I felt like I was going to go back to Magic Loop, and that is exactly what I did. I actually switched. I had been using Knitter's Pride Carbons needles, that's a mouthful, Knitter's Pride Carbons needles, to knit my socks, but I had recently purchased some Zings, which I'm loving the Zings for knitting shawls and things, and I did not have the smaller needles, so I had bought a US size 1 Knitter's Pride Zing needle, so I have been using that to magic loop these socks. If you don't remember, the yarn is White Birch Fiber Arts, and the colorway is Nothing Says Screw You Like a Rainbow. I'm still on the first sock. You know, it's taking me a while to get through the sock, but every time I pull it out, it just makes me so happy. It's like just happiness in a sock. So I'm knitting them from the cuff down, and then I put in the Fish Lips Kiss heel. That is my preferred heel these days. I recommend it if you haven't tried it yet. And just kind of cranking away on the foot. I have really big feet, women's US size 11, so I'm almost to the toe, but not quite. So maybe next month I will have at least one finished sock, I hope, because they're just so really, they're just making me so happy. So I have worked on that sock a little bit, which is nice. Okay, and then let's see, what else do I have here? Okay, so I have a lot of leftover sock yarn, especially. I mean, I wrote 3 books that have sock yarn in the title of them: Sock Yarn Shawls 2, and Sock Yarn Accessories. So there's a lot of sock yarn leftovers around here. It's what I use for the majority of my shawls anyway. And then I was watching the Yarn Hoarder, and I know she's been around and is super popular, a super popular podcast here on YouTube. But I just recently got into watching her, and she's making all these beautiful blankets, right? And I think most of them are crocheted. And so I got out all of my, not all of my, there's more, sock yarn leftovers, and separated them, and then started crocheting little hexagons. So basically what I did is I have my giant bag here, not fancy, but gets the job done. And then I separated the colors and the more neutrals. And you can see I do have like some like full skeins here. It's like yarn I've just had in my stash that I haven't used for anything else. And then so I separated the colors and the neutrals, and then I am just crocheting hexagons. So I'm putting the more colorful yarn in the middle and then the neutral on the outside. So pretty much what I'm doing is just kind of grabbing whatever at any time and then just making a hexagon. My original plan was to try to crochet 3 a day. I've been having a hard time staying on that schedule just due to other obligations. But these are really fun. It's like potato chip crochet because it's just so fun just to like make 1 or 2 or 5 or 6 or whatever, and then move on. So they're very addicting. So my plan, I couldn't decide if I was going to, attach them as I go or seam them all together at the end. I have decided that I'm going to wait until I've made them all and then crochet them all together. The reason being is that I do have some balls of yarn here that this is like almost a full ball of yarn. And then other ones, I have like this little itty bitty one left. So I just worried that if I started sort of crocheting them together as I went, like I'd end up having like a big block of orange, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I just wanted to maybe control like where all the different colors are going in the blanket a little more. So I realized I'm probably just making an extra step for myself, but that's okay. This is going to be one of those things. It's probably going to take me like a year or 2 years to finish this, but I think it's going to be so awesome when it's done. The hexagon pattern that I'm using, it's just like the traditional granny square hexagon that's in Robin Chichula's book. Her Stitch Dictionary. So that's where I got it. So that's just what I'm following. And they're turning out great. So I don't know. I think I have 15 so far. Maybe next time I'll have 30. We'll see. It's just a little fun project to work on sort of at night when I'm watching TV and don't feel like knitting. I can pull that up. Let's see. What else do I have here? Oh, yeah. So a few videos ago, again with the plastic bag, sorry. I showed you the Swoncho yarn that I bought, and then I accidentally started my Swoncho. So you can see here the colors I picked. So I left the purple yarn out. I sort of, read everybody's comments here on YouTube. I asked my knitting group. I asked my husband. I was getting everybody's opinion on what colors I should use for the Swoncho. But this is what I decided. I am loving it so far. This is the Berroco Vintage DK yarn. And I did change this, because I can't help myself. I changed the stitch pattern just like a little bit up here. And then I'm changing it a little down here. Just to make it a little different. So I worked on this. This was just over the course of a couple days when I said I'm not doing any work knitting, and then I just like knit on this for like a whole day instead of doing work. So then I did have to hide it from myself ultimately, and I did hide it in the closet because I had work deadlines, and as much as I wanted to just knit an entire Swoncho, I had to be responsible and put it away. So I haven't worked on this now in a couple weeks, but I'm hoping that I can get back to it. My plan really is to have this done by Rhinebeck. I mean, it's the end of March now, so I mean, I definitely have time to get it done. And, I think this summer I'll have some more free time. I try to plan my work so that in the summer I'm a little bit freed up. So I'll probably have some time to finish that up then, but it's just turning out so beautiful. I see why everybody wants a Swoncho. I mean, it's so fun to knit. It's so pretty. I just in love with how it's turning out. So that's that. And then the final thing I have to show you is down here. in my knitting tattoo bag from 3 Bags Full. I bought this bag at Rhinebeck. Is I've been working on a shawl that is going to be a self-published design, and it will be on Ravelry probably in the early part of May, I think. To be determined though. My self-published designs, sometimes the schedules are a little more flexible because I'm the only one that has to worry about it. I'm not, trying to meet a deadline for a yarn company or something. So anyway, here it is. There we go. So it is a on the bias wrap stole sort of thing. And so it starts with this lace pattern that has the stripes. That's about 1/3 of the wrap, and then it's going into this garter stitch stripe section because I love garter stitch, so I had to. So the middle third's going to be this, and then the last third is going to be this again. So I'm really, even as I'm holding it up now and looking at it on camera, I'm just like, oh yes. This is awesome. So I'm really excited about this. The yarn is that's a mouth. I'm saying that totally wrong. The yarn is wool wash fingering. I feel like my brain took a second to compute that. So wool wash fingering. I bought it at Rhinebeck last year. It's a really nice yarn. I'll leave all the colorway information down in the description below, but that's the main color there. Then that's one of the stripes, and then this is like a navy sort of, it's like a dusty blue navy sort of color. So it's really lovely. This has been so fun to knit. I can't wait to see how it turns out. Once it's all blocked, I think it's just going to be awesome. So I've been knitting on this a lot just because I'm trying to actually get that done because that is work related. So those are the main whips that I have going on. Oh, I do have one other thing I've been working on that's not knitting or crochet. Again, I guess I don't know, maybe I've just been feeling like my friends and I are starting to talk about our Rhinebeck trip for this year, for 2018. And so I don't know if that sort of made me go back into my stuff that I purchased in 2017. And like, that's why I'm like working on this stuff more. I don't know. But I started working on this, which I picked up at Rhinebeck in 2017, which is from the company Gnome. It is a felted Belsnickel, just like Santa, except dirty and worse. So I have never, it's a needle felting kit there. Everything that I needed, well, now I've taken it apart because I've been working on it, but everything that I needed was inside this little tube. The only thing that I had to buy separately was the foam board to work on because those needle felting needles are super sharp and kind of long, so you need something like this to like work on. You can't, like, if you just do it in your lap, you're gonna stab yourself. So anyway, so I started this. It's kind of like it looks kind of weird right now. I don't know. So anyway, this is the start of it. So here, I'll just show you the picture again. So I kind of have the main part of the body done, and then I've just started the face, and then I made the arms too. I mean, I don't think mine's gonna come out looking quite like the picture, it's my first time. So, I'm kind of going into it, just like any new project, like it's not gonna be perfect, but it's gonna be awesome anyway. So that's like an arm. I've made 2 of them. So yeah, so that is the Belsnickel. The reason I bought that is, honestly, I love The Office TV show, the US one, and I've watched through it, I don't even know how many times. That is the main TV I watch while I knit. Like, I feel like if the TV's on as background noise, The Office is on. And so in season 9, I think Dwight dresses up as Belsnickel in the Christmas episode. And so when I saw that, I was like, yeah, I'm going to need a Belsnickel in my house next Christmas. So I'm working on that. Hopefully next time I'll have it done because I have been really enjoying working on that one. So that's sort of my other craft that I've been working on. And then as far as finished stuff goes, You know, I've had some work stuff that, you know, I finished and now sent off to wherever it needs to go. I did finish the shawl. I'll be honest, I debated whether or not to show this off because the pattern is only available to people who were on my Patreon page for January and February. But the pattern will be available in September. And I did finish it and it is pretty. So I just thought I'd show it to you today. But yeah, I don't like showing you guys too many things that you can't get your hands on right now. But I just couldn't resist because I just love this shawl so much. So this is the Sterna shawl. Like I said, it was an exclusive pattern to my Patreon page. But what I think is so cool about this shawl is that the people on my Patreon page actually told me what they wanted. So I had picked the yarn. It's Fiber Optic Yarns cashmere yarn. So I had picked the yarn, and then I said, okay, I could make, you know, I think this one I did say I want to make a shawl because I had a lot of yarn. So I said, you know, I could make a crescent shawl, a triangle shawl, a pie shawl, like I listed all these things. And so they picked crescent, and then I listed some different things I could put on the shawl. So lace, cables, knitted on border. I had a whole ton of options that everybody could vote on. And so ultimately it was stockinette lace with knitted on border. So that is what I gave them. So I'm just really in love with this shawl. If you subscribe to my newsletter, which there's a link down below, when the pattern is available, I will be sure to send out an email about it. So, but I don't know, lace shawls are always lovely, right? So it's just fun to show you what I've been working on. So that's the main thing I've finished. I'm hoping next time maybe I can have those socks done, the Belsnickel, probably not the Swoncho because I do have other things to do, but that's okay. That's part of the fun of working for yourself is, you've got the work stuff, but sometimes you're the boss, so you could say, I'm taking a break and I'm just gonna make a Belsnickel or crochet 20 hexagons, whatever you want, right? So that's it for me for today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more coffee catch-ups, be sure to hit that subscribe button. If you want, you can turn on the notifications and then be notified whenever I upload a new video. I upload videos most Fridays, so usually once a week I have a new video. So I hope everybody has a great week, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye!